bring in Robert Sanders. He's a national security associate professor at the University of New Haven, also a former military lawyer. So nice to see you this Friday morning. You just heard that from Paula, that report from Paula. The special counsel's office is expected to speak with more witnesses in the weeks ahead. Any advantages for prosecutors to wait until those are wrapped up before an indictment?
Well, you'd really like to have your full case in a box and ready to go on the day you begin trial, or at least on the days that you're set to begin trial. If the prosecution hasn't quite gotten there, then they might want to take a little bit of time to get there. Surprising? No, but this is unprecedented work. I mean, Donald Trump has become a judicial inveterate like no one other. I mean, by that, he's a frequent presence in the courtroom like no other president, former president, has ever been.
Yeah, it's just unprecedented. You're right. And we're also waiting for the trial date for the classified documents case. Trump also has to deal with the charges in New York regarding the alleged hush money payments. Now you have this third potential indictment looming, all of this amid a presidential campaign. I wonder how the former president manages this. I mean, he's going to be spending time in court.
That's a wonderful observation. How do you manage yourself when you have trials in New York, potentially Washington, D.C., Florida, potentially Georgia, and with the wind up looking at the false electors, Arizona and Michigan?
Remarkable. We're showing on our screen the wide breadth of the former president's legal troubles right now. We also learned this week that federal prosecutors have asked for security footage from the Atlanta area stadium that served as a polling site. In addition, there's a state-level election interference probe going on in Georgia. Do you think one of these investigations affects the other?
Only to a certain extent. Some of the same players are involved in both cases, but we try to think in broad terms that the feds would take precedence, but I think the state prosecutions are further ahead.
I wonder, sir, if the president's defense for so many of these very different cases is that there's some sort of witch hunt against him. But when you look at the different the behavior in each of these different 5 or 6 major investigations, what does it tell you?
Well, first, this is not 1692. This is not the Salem witch trials. The only substantive connection between those two is that an act of one man resulted in the deaths of multiple people. So what do we say to Donald Trump? Donald Trump, you need to really focus in on what the facts are. The facts are that multiple people have said you're a national security threat to the United States of America. And, oh, by the way, you're an indicted felon, a multiple impeached former president, and civilly liable for sexual abuse. This is a man whose activities precede him in a way that is so negative that we've never seen anything like it in our country before.
Just fascinating to see the wheels of the legal profession turning here for the next months, for sure. Professor Robert Sanders, thank you so much.